Hey you guys, I hope that you guys are enjoying this series as much as I am creating them, because I'm having a lot of fun giving you guys so much information and so much knowledge so that you are better equipped sellers and buyers in this volatile market. Now for today's Moscato and Mortgage Monday, if some of you don't know, I am actually from California, if you can't hear it in my voice, born and raised in Northridge, California my entire life. And I still try to hold on to my LA roots as long as I've been in Atlanta, but you know, Atlanta has kind of adopted me. So tonight we are going to be drinking California Roots Moscato. And I literally was just walking by the wine aisle in Target, and guess how much this was? $5. And y'all know if it's $5 at Target, it is probably actually cheaper somewhere else. But it's actually really good. And my best friend actually drinks the sangria. So they have a lot of different ones that you can try. So we're gonna cheers to that before we get started. And also, there were some people on set asking, where did I get this saucy little number? And this two-piece set is actually from my online boutique that I have started, Sunset 22 Boutique. That is an Instagram page. I am wearing a two-piece set in a size small called Laguna. I love it. The fabric is amazing. It flows, and I can literally go from like meeting with the client to happy hour in this, so I love the versatility of it. Okay, so we're gonna get into our topic for tonight, which is why sellers need an agent. You should not be selling your home if you do not have a experienced, expert realtor to represent you in the transaction. Now, I know that for sale by owner is a very popular thing in today's market. I know everyone's first thing is gonna be like, you know, I wanna save money, I wanna cut costs, I want to increase my profits. With inflation just really changing our lives, I understand the need and the want to minimize your out-of-pocket expenses as a seller. You may already be doing repairs or renovations or anything like that, and you know, it's natural to think the very first thing, let me just cut out an agent. I can do this. My house will sell. There's not going to be any issues. That is literally probably the biggest myth in the entire world, is that you do not need representation in certain real estate transactions. Now, I know that real estate has become like a very oversaturated industry where everyone's doing it. Anyone, you know, an agent, whether it's your cousin, your older sister, a friend from high school. Realtors are at an all-time high. But let me tell you, going to school and getting your real estate license does not make you a realtor. It does not give you experience. It doesn't give you knowledge. I always compare it to when we were in high school and we used to dissect frogs. We've never used that in our entire lives. And I'm sure many of you guys have seen the meme, like another day without me using Y equals MX plus B. Okay, that is exactly comparable to going to real estate school. A lot of the things that you learn are not tangible items that you can really use in day-to-day transactions in an ever-changing market, with interest rates changing, market values changing, all that kind of stuff. You really need to work with someone who is experienced, someone who really takes the time to research their industry, stay on top of market trends. That is really, they take it seriously. It is their true passion, because anything that you truly love, you're going to put your heart and soul into it. And I can truly say that with real estate, that's exactly what I do. I make sure that I'm reading articles on what is going on in our industry. I'm looking at different predictions for what is going to happen with the market, what is going on in the world of finance with a recession, and how is that going to affect the housing market and all that kind of stuff. So with that being said, hiring the right realtor can truly change your entire home selling experience. And let me start with the very first thing. Obviously, the most important thing is what to list your home at. Now, if you're just, hiring someone who is not well versed on the different market values of different counties, different school districts, different cities, different property types, because a lot of people may have only serviced new construction. Some agents may only do a certain county, like Cobb County. So when you take them out to Henry, they're not familiar with what's going on there. And not to say that I'm just like the best agent in the world. I mean, something like it, but it really is important to choose someone that knows what's going on in your area, because that's going to allow you to price your home accurately. And as we see this market change and transition almost overnight, if we've been watching it, it's been a bit gradual, but it seems as though the market has flipped upside down literally within a matter of a couple weeks. Really pricing your home accurately is going to change everything else after that, because I see so many overly priced homes. And of course, that was working, you know, all at the beginning of this year, all last year, because interest rates were so low. It was such a crazy high demand and a huge pool of buyers. Now, with interest rates consistently rising, there are not that many buyers. And if there are not that many buyers, you cannot just slap on, you know, a price of a home, throw it on the market, and then see what happens. Absolutely not. Now is more the time than ever to make sure that your home is in the best move-in ready condition. It has the best marketing. That's another thing that I see agents doing so much, is taking pictures on their phone. I have seen a number of agents that are truly lazy in their marketing efforts because they are relying on the speed of the market and what's happening in our industry right now. They are throwing pictures up there in a professional MLS system from an old digital camera. I seen that recently. It had the little time and date stamp like in the bottom corner. And I was just like, these sellers don't even know what an injustice their agent is doing to them in their entire process, because if you are not able to truly market the home, to truly sell it, and you're relying on, let me just see what happens type of mentality, that is not going to garner a lot of buyer interest, which ultimately is not going to garner a lot of offers, which in turn does not garner you any profits. So it's very important to work with an agent who has top tier marketing and who is going to put forth the actual effort to do so. So we've already talked about the price point that you need to be listing at. It needs to be in line with comps. Another thing that the average person thinks that they can do is just kind of look up comps. Okay, this sold in my neighborhood, this sold recently, this is what I should price my home at. Running comps is a skill. It is a talent that has to be mastered, that has to be worked on. And when you are looking at comps, there are a number of different things that factor into that, other than, okay, this sold down the street from me. What is the distance from the subject property? What is the square foot, the square feet? What is the price per square foot? There are so many factors that go into that. Is the property type the exact same? Are you comparing apples to oranges? Are you looking at a townhouse versus a single family home? There are just so many different things that go into that. It's not as simple as looking up what recently sold a couple months ago. You want to make sure that you're in the right timeline, the right mileage, all those type of things matter. And as a unlicensed person, you're not able to quickly know those things, and you just don't know, what you're doing or what you're looking for, and that's okay. Because another comparison I make is, if you were to go to court, we all know that you need representation in court. You would never walk into a courtroom and just represent yourself. You're not a lawyer. You don't know the different laws. You may not know how to litigate your point, as best to service yourself. So you would hire a lawyer. It's the exact same thing with real estate transactions. You need to hire someone who you are paying, essentially, to protect you, to explain things to you, to educate you, and to really make sure that your process eliminates, a lot of shenanigans. Now, the biggest shenanigan that we've experienced as an entire industry, of course, is appraisals. There are a lot of appraisals that come in and they are not accurate. That's just the honest to God truth. Appraisals are subjective to the appraiser that is performing it. So let's say you have an out-of-state appraiser that is coming in to, appraise a home. They're not familiar with this area. They're not familiar with the developments that are on the way. They are not familiar with the school district. They could just not be from here, and they're just looking at a blanket kind of formula to generate a value for this specific property. Me and my expertise, I have actually disputed a number of appraisals representing both sides, actually representing the seller and representing my buyers, because if my buyer is moving there, I want them to be moving in with a certain amount of value in the neighborhood. So I have actually won a number of disputes with appraisals. That is a very big thing, that if you're representing yourself, what happens when an appraisal comes in low? Do you know how to dispute it? Do you know what comps to use to dispute it? Do you even know how to go through that process? Of course not, because you haven't been trained in that area. So, there are just so many different things I could go into, just like when an inspection comes back from the buyer and there may be a lot of things that you didn't even know about your home, a lot of deferred maintenance that you may not have been taking care of over the years. What do you do then? Do you have a network of resources for things like that? I could give you 100 million different scenarios of why you need a licensed real estate professional, but I think I'm hoping you guys are, picking up what I'm putting down. Now, I know that commission is a big thing. And of course, as the seller, you are paying both sides of the commission. You are responsible to pay the buyer's commission as well as your own agent. So typically, that is whatever you decide to negotiate with your agent. However, you don't go to work every day for free. You don't do things just, willy-nilly. So you can't expect a real estate professional to do that either. So of course you are paying them and compensating them, but you're receiving you should be receiving a high level, top tier service all around throughout your process. Another thing that is major and can truly change your entire experience is, as a top producing realtor, I have a network of buyers. Like, I am not limited on that at all whatsoever. Inventory is still low no matter what's going on in the market. So when I'm listing a home, I initially shop it to all of my network of buyers, which my database is probably over about 700 potential clients. That's going to speed up the process because, again, that has to do with the level of marketing, the level of effort, and all that kind of stuff. So I am going to cheers to maximizing your net profits as a seller and working with the best professional that will best suit your needs. I look forward to talking to you guys next Monday.